Hey there, Bible Reading Club. Welcome back to The Explainer. I am so pumped you're hanging out with us today because, guys, we're going on an epic, guided sightseeing tour. We're digging right into the text of Revelation chapter 21, and we're going to look at what is literally the most amazing city ever imagined. Okay, let's jump right in and see what John's vision is all about.
So I want you to do me a favor. Just close your eyes for a second and use your imagination. Picture the absolute best fort, the greatest castle, or, the most perfect city you could ever possibly build. Got it? What does it look like? What is it made of? Now, keep that awesome picture in your head, because the vision John recorded in Revelation 21, well, it describes a place that's going to completely blow your ideas out of the water.
Section 1, A Brand New World. Let's see what happens in Revelation 21.
Before we can even get to the city itself, the whole stage has to be completely rebuilt. John actually saw a new heaven and a new earth. And why is that? Well, because the first heaven and the first earth had completely passed away. All the sad, heavy things of the first earth are just gone. Actually, the text specifically points out that there was no more sea. Everything is totally replaced with this perfect, brand new creation.
And right after that comes this amazing promise. A loud voice calls right out of heaven and announces, "Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them." Think about that for a second. The absolute best part of this new world isn't just the pretty scenery. It's that God himself comes down to live right next door to his people.
Section 2, The End of Sadness. The former things are passed away.
When God comes to live with his people, he makes this incredibly personal promise. The text tells us that God himself will personally wipe away all tears from their eyes. There's going to be no more death, no more sorrow, no more crying, and absolutely no more pain. Just imagine that. Every single thing that has ever hurt us is permanently erased, because all the former things are passed away.
And then the one sitting on the throne confirms all this. He says, "Behold, I make all things new." And he introduces himself with this really special title. He says, "I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end." Now, Alpha and Omega are just the first and last letters of the Greek alphabet, kind of like our A and Z. So this means God is completely in charge, right from the very beginning of time all the way to the very end. He commands John to write this down, because these words, they are totally true and faithful.
Section 3, Measuring the Great City. Here comes the Holy Jerusalem.
So John gets carried away in the spirit to this great high mountain, and finally he sees the holy city descending out of heaven. To help us wrap our heads around how massive it is, John introduces us to our city's surveyor. It's an angel holding a golden reed, kind of like a shiny measuring tape. Now, the text uses these ancient measurements called furlongs and cubits. The angel measures the great high wall to be exactly 144 cubits. To put that in perspective, a cubit is about the length from your elbow to your fingertips. So yeah, that is one huge wall.
But as we look closer at the design of this city, there's a very specific number that just keeps popping up. Let's see if you can count them all with me, okay? The city has 12 gates. And at those gates are 12 angels. Written on the gates are the names of the 12 tribes of Israel. The wall has 12 foundations. Written on those foundations are the names of the 12 apostles. Oh, and later we'll see there are 12 pearls. That number 12 is literally everywhere in this perfect city.
Now here is the absolute most mind-blowing part about its shape. The angel measures the city at 12,000 furlongs. And get this, the length, the breadth, and the height of the city are exactly equal. It is a gigantic, perfect cube. 12,000 furlongs is over 1,000 miles. Can you even imagine a city that reaches just as high up into outer space as it is long and wide? Absolutely incredible.
Section 4, Streets of Pure Gold, Clear as Glass.
Remember earlier when I asked you to imagine the most sparkly building materials ever? Well, John tells us the outer wall was made of jasper, but the city itself? Pure gold. But wait, it's not just normal gold, it's pure gold that looks like clear, transparent glass. Imagine just walking down streets made of gold that is so flawless, so pure, that you can see right through it.
And what about underneath the city? Those foundations aren't just your standard dirt or concrete. No way. They are decorated with this epic treasure checklist of precious stones. Listen to these glowing jewels. We've got jasper, sapphire, chalcedony, and emerald. Then sardex, sardius, chrysolite, and beryl. And finally, a topaz, a chrysoprasus, a jacinth, and an amethyst. It's like a massive, glowing rainbow of gems.
Okay, next let's walk through the unbelievable architecture of the city gates.
Step 1. There are 12 gates in total. 3 on the east, 3 on the north, 3 on the south, and 3 on the west, welcoming people from all directions. Step 2. The text tells us that the 12 gates were 12 pearls. This means every single individual gate was carved entirely out of one giant massive pearl. And step 3. These beautiful gates are never shut at all by day, and since there's no night there, they just stay open forever.
But you know what the wildest thing is? It's how this city actually works. John saw no temple building at all because the Lord God Almighty and the Lamb are the temple. And unlike our cities today, the New Jerusalem has absolutely zero need for the sun or the moon. Why? Because the glory of God lights up the whole thing. It is so bright that the saved nations and kings of the earth will just walk around in his incredible light.
Section 5. Who gets to enter? Inheriting all things.
Now God promises in the text that he will give the fountain of the water of life freely to anyone who is thirsty. And to the person who overcomes, he says they shall inherit all things, adding, I will be his God, and he shall be my son. So those who overcome are welcomed into this amazing city as God's very own children. However, we have to look at the whole picture, and the text is also very clear about who cannot enter. Verse 8 tells us that the fearful, the unbelieving, murderers, sorcerers, idolaters, and liars will not inherit this city. Instead, they'll have their part in the lake of fire, which the text describes as the second death.
To show just how completely pure this city is, verse 27 tells us exactly what stays outside. It says nothing that defileth, basically nothing that ruins things, shall enter in. Only those who bring glory and honor get to walk in its light. Nothing bad, nothing false, and no one who makes a lie is ever allowed inside those giant pearl gates.
So what does this all mean for us? Who exactly gets to walk right through those giant pearl gates and step onto those transparent gold streets? Well, verse 27 gives us the final answer. Only those which are written in the Lamb's book of life. As we wrap up this incredible explainer of Revelation 21, I want to leave all of you in the reading club with a very important question. It's something you really need to think about. Is your name written in the Lamb's book of life? Think about that long after our tour today is over. Thanks so much for exploring with me, guys, and keep on reading.